I like the prep every time.
Ooh, he's a clapper of all clappers. Finally found something he's good at.
Finally.
It's a joke.
Finally, I've got something.
Are you going to eat the microphone tonight, or what? Are you a bit close? Hello and welcome to The Rest is Football with Micah Richards, Alan Shearer and me, Gary Lineker. The round of 16 games are now underway and we've just seen Switzerland and Germany make it through to the quarterfinals of Euro 2024. The Germans did so on a very rainy night in Dortmund. Stormy night, really, wasn't it? Start today with the host Germany, who battled past Denmark. It was a cracking game, particularly the second half. I mean, all sorts of kind of controversy and referees.
It was cracking, but we're not going to talk about yesterday, our little dinner.
Oh, yeah.
First, we're not going to give the people, a little bit of...
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you paid for dinner for us. A wonderful gesture.
Very nice.
Thank you very much. You took the whole of the BBC team, not the whole, but the people who was available on that day to a nice restaurant.
It's a good turnout.
It was a very good turnout.
Yeah.
The food was great. So thank you. And we had a little sing-song after.
We had a sing-song. It was a great sing-song, wasn't it? And it's kind of a restaurant. It was an Italian trattoria, wasn't it? I mean, right in the middle of the street. I'm sure a lot of people have seen it on social media.
I'm not sure it was a great sing-along, but it was a
me and you was all right. Danny Murphy let us down.
Yeah, great fun. That's what I mean.
Great fun.
I was doing the videos because I'm not a very good singer. I was singing along, but sort of quietly.
Chuck some shapes out as well, didn't you?
Big bit of shapes. Bit of flowing.
Yeah.
No, can I just say, before we move on, I absolutely love this tournament.
It's great, isn't it?
I mean, being in Berlin is... I didn't know what to expect. Obviously, we have a full fixture and only downtime. Go for a few
You've done
walks.
a tournament before.
I have, but I did one Slovakia because of COVID, and then the other one was in Qatar, the World Cup.
Yeah.
And
you were in the second team.
Oh, no comment. I'm not getting into that. I don't want to upset anybody. Gary, I'm a politician today.
You have done very well, though. I think you've done amazing.
Oh, thank you, guys.
Yeah,
I've just enjoyed it. Live games is my thing, isn't it?
You've been drinking again, Alan.
No, I'm just being nice to him.
I agree, Micah. Yeah. It's great to have you on board in the first team. And we've enjoyed some football. It's great. It's always good when it gets to the knockout stage as well, isn't it? When, the jeopardy is there. Let's start with Germany. I mean, obviously the storms for a start, incredible, weren't they?
Hailstones, weren't they?
Oh, everything.
Yeah,
and
incredible.
The way the water was coming down from the roof. Do you see the two Danish fans when they talk? They're dancing.
That was cool.
It's not only Old Trafford, like leaks everywhere else. Leaks as well,
you had to get that in, didn't you?
Just, why not?
Yeah. But what do you think, Germany?
The class. Yeah. I think
really good.
I think they started really well in the first 20 minutes, dropped off a little bit. Yeah. But I like a team who can adapt to what the game needs. So they pressed really high, and then Denmark got on top a little bit. They dropped a little bit deeper. Toni Kroos is pivotal in everything that Germany need to do, on the ball, off the ball. Andrik's in midfield as well. I think he does a defensive side, and then you've got Gundogan, who didn't have his probably best game today, but I just think the balance of their team with Musiala as well. And leaving out Wirtz. We talk about England, and we'll come on to England a bit later on. But leaving out a big player for the balance of the team, there's nothing wrong with that. Havertz obviously got his penalty.
Are you implying that perhaps someone else should do that?
I'm implying that, yes. You have to be bold.
I am. Bold. Sorry, yeah.
I can't call you bold anymore. Isn't that really bad to do now? But I just think I like the fact that Nagelsmann is bold when he needs to be, because Wirtz is their probably star player,
Can I say one thing to you?
Of course you can.
VAR.
Oh, please.
Honestly.
We've lasted this long without it.
Denmark.
I feel for them. I mean, that could have been so different. It's a toenail. I mean, given the new stuff, you just have to say that's offside. I mean, we've always known as we've grown up before VAR that level is onside, and that is to the best of my knowledge, still in the rules.
I
But it's obviously now with that kind of system. But I like that toenail. So you'd have to say it's probably right.
Yeah.
And then the handball that happens a minute later. So they've gone from being 1-0 up to 1-0 down. Both decisions given by VAR. Now, the handball thing, we know under the current guidelines and the way it is that it probably was a handball. But the law,
it's shit.
just awful.
The law is just shit. I mean, honestly, what is wrong, right? We have this ridiculously complicated law, natural, unnatural, proximity, pace,
silhouette.
honestly,
Silhouette.
What is wrong?
Silhouette.
What is wrong with just saying deliberate handball?
Yeah.
It's, to me, it's pretty simple.
It's how it used to
Honestly,
be. It was
it's
fine.
like, fucking hell, it gets me so angry.
It's so annoying. And I mean, Anderson in the space of a minute was going to be a massive hero, and then he's kind of almost made into the villain. And it's just I felt for Denmark, I felt for Anderson.
Yeah, under the current law,
Yeah.
it probably is
Yeah.
hand law. But
I
the
mean, you
laws-
can't say that they got any of the decisions wrong because the disallowed goal early in the game, of course, as well.
Delaney who played
Yes,
to
it
Anderson.
was definitely a block. It was definitely a block. That was clear. They did it quite quickly,
Yeah.
and that's fine. But I just don't like VAR the way it is now. And
There was one angle though. On the handball with
Yeah, but
Anderson
in slow
where
motion.
of course, in slow, and that is a key.
motion.
That is a
He's
key
like
in
a
slow
yard away
motion.
from him. He's a yard away, and he's like his hand. You can see he's trying to get out the way. He can't.
That's the law, though, isn't
I know.
it? I mean,
Yeah.
It's the law. It's
It's
not the referee's fault. They've given no choice but to give a penalty
Exactly.
under those
But it's not.
circumstances.
But it's not fair to the referees, then, is it? Because they're going to get all the
Absolutely.
stick when actually it's the law, like we've talked on Match of the Day many of times before.
Yeah, it's the law. The law is an ass, as they say.
But Germany, I think, were the better team. They missed a lot of chances, didn't they? I mean, Kasper
Yes.
Schmeichel made 3 or 4 really good saves. Poor finishing, but they were the better team, weren't they? Germany.
Yeah, I would agree with
As
that.
you would expect overall. But I thought Denmark gave them a
Yeah,
real
they
good
did.
go.
Yeah.
I
No,
thought
they're
they
in the
can,
game.
they can go home with their heads held high. There's no question about that. Do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, I think they can, but I think
There's nothing.
I think Germany have just got there. They can adapt really good.
They've got a very good tactician as a manager.
He's so
Nagelsmann.
good. He's so good. Well, when I say he's so good, he plays the football that we want to see
Yes.
as fans.
Yes.
You know, attractive, high press football.
Isn't that how football should be played?
No, but
I mean,
yeah, I agree with you, and I've said
it's
that
an
from the get-go.
entertainment business.
It is entertainment, but teams can win not playing attractive football. That is a difference. As fans, we all want to see that expansive football. But at the end of the day, it's how you win. And Rio made a good point today on BBC. 2013, the year after we won it, it wasn't the best United, but they got it over the line.
Yeah, he's talking about winning the Premier
Winning the Premier League, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, for those that didn't see it, yeah. And yeah, it's a good point. You don't, sometimes, but I still don't think they played negative. like,
Okay, would you
boring
take
counter-attack football.
would you take England playing the way they're playing now and winning a trophy rather than playing
course you
amazing? Exactly. But that's the whole point, isn't it?
Of course, my concern is that the game has moved on a little bit, and I'm not sure you can. Well, you can.
Well,
but
Real
I think
Madrid did it. Real Madrid won the Champions League, being at times, letting the opposition have possession. I know they had great players on transition with Rodrigo and Vinicius, and I'm agreeing with what you're saying. I'm in your camp, but I'm saying you still can play
Yes,
defensively
absolutely.
and
The
win.
only thing I would say, and we'll come to England later, and I know we're digressing a little bit, but the only thing I would say is that it depends what squad you've got, the players available to you, how you play, and I think
Correct.
managers should adapt to what they've got. And I understand Gareth's gone really close in tournaments playing conservatively, but now I think for the first time he's got a squad that is actually a squad full of wonderful talent that, can he play a different way? Can he get the team higher up the pitch? I don't think he needs to do much. Just get the back four high. They've got the pace so that you can squeeze teams in and play teams in the final third. He doesn't play that well. I get it. And if we win, he'll be a hero and we'll all cheer him to the rafters and he'll get his knighthood and we'll be joyous. And I hope that happens to him because I think he's a great human being and I really, really like him a lot. But I just wonder whether we can win this way.
Well, you've been a manager. what would you say your style of play was? And I know it was only short. I'm not taking the mick here. And you had to utilize the players that you had at the time. So how hard is it to have one thing in your mind, but then you have the players available to you to do exactly what you want to do on the field?
Well, that's it. That's entirely that. Is that you might have a style of play you want to play, but you have to look at your players, who you've got, and think, well, what way is best suited to this team?
And what has been best suited to England? It's been a defensive structure that's got them to the Euros final.
Yeah. And that's why I think they can win it playing that way. Because look at the draw. Yeah, I mean, look at the 3 games they've had. They've had Serbia, Denmark, Slovenia, Slovakia. They've got. They could end up with well, they're going to get Switzerland if they get through.
Switzerland were very good today.
Switzerland to get through, but if someone said to you, by the way, you're going to play Slovakia in the first knockout and then Switzerland in the quarterfinals, you'd just snap your hands off to take that. And then whoever else, not one of the big hitters in the semi-final.
We covered the game where Switzerland cruised past Italy. Before we come to Italy, you have to say the Swiss were mightily impressive all over the field.
They were brilliant.
Their game plan, their pressing,
Absolutely.
when they knew when to sit, when to go. They kept the ball really well. Granit Xhaka ran the show. Yeah?
They were brilliant in everything they did. I mean, Cher, Akanji, Xhaka was just bossed the whole midfield. No one could get near him. And Bolo, Vargas, and Doi, ran them ragged at the back. They were absolutely outstanding. They were fit, they were organised, they had the press, and they had quality. I mean, everything you would want in a performance the Swiss gave. Thoroughly deserved the victory, thoroughly deserved their place in the quarterfinals, and they've been one of the standout teams for all of those reasons. And they were absolutely magnificent.
A little bit devastated. You asked me before the game, didn't you? Italy.
I just couldn't
or
see them
Switzerland.
performing. It's only we bumped into a few Italian fans, and they were just kind of going. They knew they were.
You called it though, Al. You called it. You said they're not very good.
Well,
I think losing key players though. DeMarco was a big miss for him.
I don't think anyone coming. I don't think
They've
many
got
would have made
nothing
a
up front.
difference.
They've got nothing. Calafiore is a good player as well. It was heart over head. I wanted Italy to go through. I wasn't going to say that on the BBC. I love Italy. I love the people. They've been great, but it's a crisis, isn't it?
How did they go Italy? How did they get that bad from winning the Euros to, what was it, 3 years later, to being so bad now?
In between that, there's a couple of World Cups that didn't
qualify
for.
They've lost some big players though.
Yeah.
Bonucci is one of them. Chiellini.
Yeah, but you had your mate, what's his name?
Bastoni.
Bastoni at centre half. He was.
He wasn't at fault for anything today.
He was. He got ran ragged. Him and his mate Mancini.
Leave my mate.
I think they're
Mancini
just
alone.
going through a period that all countries go through. And Germany are probably just coming out of one of theirs, where you just don't produce enough talent. And it's strange. England went through it, didn't they? After the so-called golden generation that never really got past bronze, but it happened to them, England, and we weren't competitive at all. And then we've now got this generation. So, but at the moment, Italy just haven't got the players.
Their best player of the whole tournament was their goalkeeper.
Yeah,
he made some fabulous saves in the group stages. He made a couple of really good saves today,
and Calafiore as well.
And that tells you how bad they've been.
I know. It's a shame to see.
Nothing up top, nothing up front.
Yeah.
It is sad.
They're one of them big footballing nations.
Big. I mean, Scamacca up front. Watching him up front today, I felt sorry for him. What's he doing? Look, I'm looking at. I was talking about number nines and like, what's the number 9 supposed to give you? Is he going to run in behind? Okay, if you're not going to run, are you going to hold up the ball? Are you going to make clever movements? Me as a defender, I'm thinking, you're not making my job hard at all. You're making it so easy for me, and I just don't know.
He's very static.
Chiesa was playing on the right when he should have been playing on the left. Pellegrini for Roma should have been playing as well in midfield. They had a young boy who played well instead of Jorginho Fragioli, I think is how it's pronounced. Fragioli.
I don't know.
Which on the ball, he was really good. Off the ball, tactically. And this is what we talk about.
The one thing
midfielders.
Italians have always been really tactically astute,
Yeah, but
haven't they?
it stresses me out though, Gaz. It stresses me out because
Don't
you
stress
go
it,
to
Micah.
Italy and they drill tactics into you every single day. And when I see people running off people's shoulders and not doing the basic things, like Italians may not be as strong, as fast as other nations, but the brain is normally there and tactics has always been their number one. To see them not doing that, it was frustrating.
It doesn't. Just you said Fragioli, and then you just say it in an Italian accent because it just sounds better.
Fragioli. Ti piace?
Mi piace.
Mi piace. He doesn't understand us, is he? He's not well travelled,
It's
this
like
lad, is
Geordie.
he?
It's like Geordie.
Geordie, that's all.
When
What's
you
it-
speak Geordie, we don't understand you. So it's the same thing.
What's up with Fragioli?
It's a bit fragile. I wanted Granit Xhaka. I mean,
Brilliant.
he was.
He just
he's
ran the show. He ran the show. I think that's a fair description. They couldn't get near him. He kept the whole game moving, played at his pace. He controlled everything. He was absolutely superb.
I wonder whether. I mean, I made the point on our coverage on BBC. I wonder whether. I thought that the Swiss team played very similar to Bayer Leverkusen this season in many ways, tactically. And obviously Granit Xhaka was a major part of that. I wonder whether he's had that kind of influence on the way the Swiss are playing. I don't know. He is the captain, so you would expect he probably has some saying things, but he certainly was the boss.
But you know what annoyed me about Xhaka? At Arsenal, he was brilliant as well. It's just his record with yellows and red
Can
cards.
lose the plot.
At that timing, but the season before he left to go to Leverkusen, he was played more advanced. He was getting into the box, getting assists and all that sort of thing. But now it was more a disciplined performance in there with Freuler and just their shape. They know exactly what they need to do. And he's just, he's a talisman in that team now.
Yeah, certainly was. Vargas goals.
Wasn't it brilliant?
Vargas.
I thought both goals were good because the first one was like a
were,
real
yeah.
good play, wasn't it, between the team, and the second was a brilliant finish. So it's England for Switzerland.
If
If they beat Slovakia,
It's England.
if
I was about to add that, don't worry.
Well, we're
I
just
was
making
about
sure.
to add that because I think as a nation at the moment we're not entirely confident, but sounds from the camp that things are progressing in terms of players' fitness, which I find strange because at this time of the season, having had a break and stuff, should be flying. So it looks like the rumours are that Mainoo will play instead of Gallagher, and aside from that, there won't be any changes. So I imagine they're going to play tactically a similar way. It doesn't look like he's going to address that balance on the left-hand side that most of us have been concerned about, Alan.
Yeah, I mean, we listened to his interview, didn't he, with Kelly Summers, who spoke to him today.
Yeah, I thought Kelly was great today.
Kelly was
So,
brilliant,
she
yeah.
deserves
She was really good.
Deserves a shout out.
She
I
asked
thought
all
Mass,
the
she's been brilliant all
yeah,
tournament.
she's great.
asked all the right questions. I thought she was great. Yeah. He said about defensively how very good they've been, and that's correct. But he needs an improvement in the final third. They need to spend more time in the final third, and they need to certainly create more chances. So I'm not surprised if that is going to be the team. That he's only made one. I know I said what I would do. I would have put Palmer on the right and Gordon on the left, and played and maybe Bellingham in the middle. But I get that Mainoo came on and he was really good. So if that is the case and he is going to start, then I'm excited for him because he did add a touch of quality into that midfield. So we're waiting for that spark, aren't we? We're just waiting for England to ignite and get going and put in a performance like the first 30 minutes of the first game against Serbia. That's what we're waiting for. That is to get more of that and more energy and everything else.
I thought England were better in the second half. Not great in the last game against Slovenia when Mainoo came on. There was something. There's a little bit of something that maybe they can build on. Micah, I'm trying to be optimistic here, but I do worry about the kind of left-hand side and the way that Foden clearly doesn't really want to play there, and Bellingham switching with him at times, and it's not flowed yet. Let's hope it does.
We've talked about the left-hand side a lot. I think if Kieran Trippier was to play, he has to just go as high as possible. I've talked about England on the ball and him keeps turning inside onto his right foot. But you can still go high as a fullback, then which will leave space in the middle of the pitch. We're not asking him to go high and cross with his left foot. We know he's not going to do that. He's got a wand of a right foot. But just go high as you possibly can. Take their player with you, that will leave the space. But I think the imbalance of the team is still there. I agree with Alan. Gordon definitely should be playing. I would have given Saka a rest and put in Cole Palmer, put Bellingham a little bit deeper and put Foden in there. But we need to be careful with Slovakia. Lobotka in midfield for Napoli, he can play. He can break up play, he can see a pass, and they've got Skriniar for PSG at the back as well. So they've got, players who can cause you. In terms of going forward, I think we should be all right, but just in terms of the balance of keeping the ball in the right moments and then them getting a set piece and then punishing us. So, I don't think we should go into the game too cocky, but we should have enough to beat this Slovakia side.
We just want to see the energy. We just want to see the Give us a bit of excitement, and
it's the energy,
because the players who they've got and the players who they can bring on are fantastic players. I mean, he's got a great pool of talent to choose from. We just want to see that a little bit more from them, and they can give it. There's no doubt, and we're waiting for that. We're just waiting for that spark for us to go.
I've watched Switzerland. I've just seen Germany and Denmark play with real high energy for 90 minutes.
Yep.
And I've not seen that yet from England. And
other than 30 minutes in the first game, and that's it.
First 30 minutes, So let's hope we have a bit of that and something to cheer.
Correct. That's what we want.
We're looking forward to that. Come on, England. Come on. Come on. Let's end it there. Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.